Hello, this is Kaos Nova, and this is another video and commentary on Battle Angel Alita, or GUNNM. In today's topic, we're talking about the dangerous nanite-based substance known as Collapser from the manga, as well as speculation from other adaptations, including the film and the video game known as GUNNM Martian Memory. If you're interested in an update on what goes on, I recommend you following the channel, which you can do by subscribing and clicking the bell for notifications. Without much further ado, let's begin. In the world of Battle Angel Alita, perhaps the most powerful types of weapons are known as the Berserker Body and other spin-off Berserker-type weapons. Like a living organism, the Berserker Body is comprised of many microscopic Berserker cells which comprise the full body, allowing for rapid healing involving the Berserker cells comprising the body. The Berserker cells take in and metabolize matter to allow for replication and, in effect, healing, similar to cells in a regular human body or a living plant or a living animal. Being a seemingly self-sustaining cyborg body, the Berserker Body was among the greatest technological breakthroughs by the Venusian colonists in the past, leading up to and during what was known as the Terraforming War. So, in the manga and in the video game known as GUNNM Martian Memory, it was on Venus that they developed it. They don't mention in the film where it was developed from. We just know that the Martian military, or United Republic of Mars, or URM, or ERM, they had them, and multiple of their soldiers had them, according to the flashback in the Alita Battle Angel movie. But this is the manga, and in the manga you had Venus, who developed it or invented it, and other factions used Berserker bodies. So the Berserker Body allowed for a durable, resilient, and practically self-sustaining body for the cyborg warrior. And attempts at countering the dangerous Berserker Body soldiers had to be developed. Think of it as a nuclear weapon, ballistic missile, or stealth bomber of the past. The powers at the time would not stand with such a superior technological weapon to be held either alone by a sole power or without some kind of counter or defense against it. Certain counter-Berserker nanites were tested in the past, but following the destruction of so much from the major players in the Terraforming Wars, and it changed from fighting interplanetary war to fighting in a tournament, or say a gladiator arena, to settle your differences. This is known as the ZOT, the Zenith Warfare Tournament. The Berserker technology became largely forgotten over time, at least in Earth. And it was, it's limited. It's considered a war crime, given what the implications are and potential side effects of the Berserker cell technology. The metabolism of Berserker cells is a double-edged sword. It's very effective in creating a sustaining cyborg body, but it's also dangerous in other potentials. So, as I said before, the Berserker cells take in matter to replicate and grow or heal the body, but the dangerous part about this is it can end up metabolizing people, it can metabolize plants, animals, or whatever, metal, whatever material, to act as a type of metabolism for these Berserker cells. This is dangerous, and this is what you see in the Berserker Body arc, or Berserker arc, because a person gets a Berserker Body, which is actually the one belonging to Alita. So I'm going to go into a little more detail here. In the manga and the video game, the nefarious Destiny Nova obtained the Berserker Body owned by Alita herself, as Alita's motorball manager, Ed, or Esdok, had sold the body to Destiny Nova, and this wasn't even a direct sell. He had sold it to someone else, who in turn sold it to Destiny Nova to finance the continuation of Alita's motorball career. And Alita had ceased using the Berserker Body out of traumatic association with her failed attempt to save Hugo's life on the freight tubes with the same Berserker Body earlier. With the Berserker Body in his possession, Destiny Nova performed analysis on Berserker Body and its cells. In doing so, he developed his own countermeasure to the Berserker Body on the cellular level, known as Collapser. In doing so, Destiny Nova discovered, or even rediscovered, a countermeasure for Berserker cells, along with Berserker Bodies and other weapons. So, what is Collapser? Collapser is a chemical solution comprised of numerous Collapser nanites. It appears as a chemical solution, but potentially also become an aerosol. It could become a solid weapon in other forms. Collapsor nanites are built to metabolize berserker cells, so essentially do the opposite of what the berserker body is. These are specifically designed to break down berserker cells and destroy berserker bodies. Nothing else, really. So these are, in essence, these are a lot more safer than the berserker cells, and they are also a countermeasure to berserker cells and berserker bodies. Once in contact with berserker cells, either through being a coating or a bullet, or as demonstrated, or in other forms such as aerosol or liquid, the collapsor nanites go at work consuming berserker cells until the collapsor nanites run out of berserker cells, similar to how bacteria, fungi, or algae consume agar in a petri dish. The collapsor was known to be used against an out-of-control berserker body, which is stolen by an enemy of Alita known as the Pan. And Alita used it herself by having berserker bullets from a revolver, or rather their coated collapsor solution. However, collapsor nanites were suspected of being used at other times, with the finer details remaining a mystery from the past. Now there's other mysteries we're going to go into, such as how was Alita captured between the ending of Last Order and the beginning of Mars Chronicle, and how did Alita, or as we know her now, AR-13, because there's a split, you have the Alita with the memories who became human, and she's on Earth now, and now you have AR-13 who you're following, and she became an android. So how did she lose the berserker body? Because now she does not have it. She's an agent of Melchizedek, but she has a somewhat downgraded body from the Imaginos 2.0. So how did she lose that? And we're going to go talk about these two themes a little bit in this overall presentation. So, for losing the Imaginos body, what is the Imaginos body? Okay, it's a more advanced type of body. It's built similar to the Berserker body because it has Imaginos cells. You first saw it in Volume 9 of the original manga, and with the retcons they have for Last Order, you start with Imaginos, but you have multiple versions of it. The architecture of the Imaginos body is different in the sense that Berserk is more stable, so it won't go metabolizing everything like crazy the way an unstable Berserker body will do it. However, the Imaginos body still contained the cellular structure of the original Berserker body and most of a very similar chemical composition. In the original Battle Angel Alita manga, in order to metabolize and replicate the orbital cable system, because the cable from Jeru was about to break, so you see the column coming down on Zalem or Tefaris that holds it up, it was going to break, and all of Tefaris is going to fall down, nuking away all the scrapyard and create a massive crater, a new mass extinction event. So in order to stop that, she used the nanotech properties along with a little extra oomph or serum from Dr. Nova to replicate the material and fill in the broken parts of the cable from up above in orbit. The Imaginos body worked that way. So that was the original part. In the Last Order manga, now you have an Imaginos body which is stable. There's more than one version because she originally got defeated by Aga and Body with the original Imaginos body. But overall, there's a similar chemical structure and cellular composition where you have nanite cells that the Berserker body has and the Imaginos body has as well. Now, Venus was where they developed the Berserker body in the first place. They developed the Berserker cell architecture. And so you're left wondering, okay, maybe Venus also had their own countermeasure or antidote to Berserker cells. So maybe there's also a version that applies also to Imaginos bodies. Another possibility is that there is a Destinova variant out there, or rather a Destinova clone known as Supernova, and he may have been behind the scheme to take away the Imaginos body. All we do know is that there was an Imaginos body on an assassin robot, but it was not the original Alita. So the Imaginos body, as Alita had it, was either destroyed or they just took the body and separated her from it. I'm not sure. We need more information in Mars Chronicle, which you can check out that series. However, this is part of a pattern of giving Alita humble pie that is repeated throughout the series. She got the Berserker body, but she gave it up because of the trauma of losing Hugo. Also, she wanted to have her motorball career keep going on. And Doc was also a drug addict, so he wanted anything to fund his lifestyle involving drugs. She had to destroy that same Berserker body, since now a malevolent and irrational individual wanted revenge on her. So leaving her with a last-minute deal to save her life with a less powerful Toon Body. After Toon Body, which is a trap received by Kaos Nova, she got the Imaginos body. She worked through Imaginos body. Yeah, she did lose the Imaginos body early on in Last Order, but as you can see with the pattern here, she loses the Imaginos body again, because the way it works is that Alita gets really powerful, but then we take her down notches to help her remind her, hey, we came from a more humble background. And it's now time, with all your great power, that even you have your down times. Even you have your times where you need to get back up. And in a way, when you go to mythology, you can have the great hunter known as Orion, but there will always be a tiny scorpion who can go get him, which goes into the description of the collapsed nanites right here. They were a type of Achilles heel against the Berserker body, or against the type of plague a Berserker cells could make. The Berserker cells could be considered a disease because they can go unstable, out of control, and consume whatever is around them. So without those moments of being humble, Alita wouldn't become the person she became or the person she has become. At the end, Collapser is a reminder that ever was a formidable hunter or warrior like Achilles or Orion. There could also be a Scorpius or an arrow guided by Apollo to bring down that great warrior or that great hunter. I'm glad you could stop by for this little bit of Alita lore. I just want to go through a few little bits here. I wish to recommend the My Hero Arm campaign, a charitable campaign by the AlitaArmy. Donates towards helping those who have lost a limb, to help pay for a prosthetic limb to help them in their day-to-day lives. I have the link for the campaign in the description, and if I get the card function with external links, I'll include it there. And I conclude this video with a plan to feature more videos on the subjects contained within the manga and other media concerning Battle Angel Alita or GUNNM. It should be fun, and I look forward to it. If you wish to remain updated on more GUNNM or sci-fi lore, I invite you to subscribe and click the bell for updates on new productions. As I say in the end, be safe out there, and I will be signing off.